The Northern Games represent our cultural heritage for the Inuvialuit people. These are games of survival. We have 4 themes that we train for the athletic areas, and those include agility, strength and endurance, resistance to pain, and our social games. We have well over 300 games in our culture, including the good man, good woman events. Those are events that our elders, our seasoned hunters, our good women bring their skills from the land to the games. So we're trying to build a bridge to, for youth to have the opportunity to learn by getting into these northern games. So that's one way that we bridge our games back to our land.
Prepping them for things they may encounter. If a kid has to jump from a shore to an iceberg, our games kind of mimic that. If you have to jump one to another, like we have games to do that. The triple jump mimics that, jumping from one bird to another. Jumping a distance, that's what Neil jump will teach you.
Right on. Okay.
Our games are mimicked from what we do on the land.
And there's always a point to every single game. Like, it's not just to do it, it's to develop the strength and the skills for survival.
Northern Games is one of our games that we did as young Inuvialuit boys when we were kids, and we learned how to live and survive in our Inuvialuit environment and in our habitat. We learn how to survive in our communities, and we play the game because the games are a good way of keeping us physically fit and strong and fast, and it really helps us too when we start thinking.
All the games that we do all comes from the land. Our ancestors developed that through that. Just from living out in the land, and I guess they just came from like mentality. How they got all these games, I don't know. To be honest about it. But out in the land and being a nomad, you think a lot, You think a lot. And
even with the Arctic sports, your agility, your strength, those are all stuff that you need to be out in your land. With my family, we're always out harvesting, and you need those skills. It's not only about learning to make a fire or learning to make a shelter. You need to have the strength, the agility, the knowledge, anything that you learn here. These are skills that you'll need to be out in your land, because it's not easy, out there. There's a lot of obstacles that you can run into, things that could happen, and if you don't have these skills, it'll be hard to survive.
Not a forgiving environment, and we have to adapt. Like even now these days, climate change going on. We adapt. We're not gonna end just because things are changing. We adapt to the change. That's how we adapted from moving from a nomadic life to a community. We adapted. Some are better at others, but the ones that are struggling, you try to help them. When you see someone and they're struggling, you go offer. You offer help, you offer assistance. They may just need a little bit of talking to, a little bit of coaching, but it's all it is helping your neighbor.
Way to go, man! Way to go, man!
That's just how we are as Inuit. We help each other because that's just how we are. That the environment. If you don't, you'd fail, and when you fail, that could end your life. That's how harsh it is.
Like long ago, we adapt to hardship, and we still continue that. There's always a leadway sometime, so sometimes the animal change, we change too.
So the climate is changing, the environment is changing, We're seeing animals up here that we've never had before. We're doing one of the events I see that we're doing here at this set of Northern Games in Tuk. We're going to do beaver skinning. They've never had beaver here before. The beaver came into the picture here 5 years ago or 7 or 8 years ago. Here, we've never had beaver here, I don't think. Now I hear we're having problems with the beavers damming up the creeks and that outside of this community. So that's how much change that's going on. They figure that every 10 years the animals move north one more kilometer.
All the erosion that's happening, the land changes, the fires that we have, the floods that we have now. It's a lot different. We see a lot of different insects, different birds, and even different animals, animals that we've never seen before. It's all because of the changes of our planet. It's rapidly changing right now. It's not stopping or it's not slowing down, and it's sort of like everything that's alive today is in a panic of that. They know. Even the insects know, the animals know, birds know it, they see it's change.
Well, you got to always move, adapt, adapt to your surrounding, the environment and everything. Because in the games too, you got to adapt to changes, right? There's changes in the sport and everything. So it's same as land. You got to adapt to change. Because it's changing all over the coast, all over the delta. It's all changing. It's all changing the landscape, the heat, the temp, the weather. You just got to adapt. Got to adapt. Because I can tell you myself, I see a lot of change, and we gotta make those changes ourselves too. We gotta go, travel different routes and everything. Gotta go with the changes. Go with the land. Land teaches you where to go, how to navigate it. Gotta adapt to everything. Adaptation. Edward Lenny would have told me, you gotta learn. Gotta learn what the land is telling you. You gotta listen. Gotta look. You gotta see. There's a lot of change.
The change is coming, and what do we do? What can we do? We don't know because we've never been in that situation before, and it's really something that we got to look into, especially things that we can't control. We can't control a land that's changing.
Yeah, I think it's not so much really adapting to the change of the land, but just being able to keep a strong mindset to be able to overcome whatever obstacles we do come to. Because with all these games, with Edward Lenny, he always said, never say you can't. Because once you say that, you're not going to be able to do anything. So being able to play these games and try these games and to have coaches and officials and other athletes to pass that knowledge on is how us as human beings, to be able to do that in regular life, that will allow us to keep training not only our bodies but our minds to be able to overcome things that we would life will throw at us, because we never know what's going to come at us at any point of the day. But whenever we say we can't, or if we don't try, likely we're not going to be able to do anything to overcome those obstacles.
And like today, it's more prominent now. Climate change, we're changing. We're using higher powered rifles, making a longer shot. We're using faster machines. We're using faster kickers. Things we're changing. Just how it is.
Welcome to Danny Kopiak and David
adapting.
Listana.
And I think
Good to have you here.
Inuit people are the best at it. We've got to. They keep saying the Arctic is we'll see the biggest changes in the climate. Well, we're experiencing it, but we're adapting. That's just how we are.